Hey everyone, Chef Bachman here. Going to show you and demo how to make a pie dough. So obviously we have our ingredients here like we talked about. I do actually have pastry flour right here because I'm at the school, so I figured I would just use it to show everyone. But obviously if you're going to use an all-purpose flour or another flour, remember that we said you need to make sure that you adjust the fat, increase the fat a little bit to compensate. Of course we have our water here, and then I also have my ice here to ensure that my liquid is cold. Like we talked about, you want to make sure that your liquid is cold so it doesn't melt your fat inside of your dough. And then of course the salt here. So basically what we're going to do is we'll move this stuff out of the way, and then what you want to do is of course add your dry ingredients, and then of course you add all your fat. Now like I said before, there are many different ways you could do this. You can toss it together and just do it by hand. Of course, like my grandmother did, she used to do this number right here with the butter knives. And then of course, like I said before, you can buy one of these tools, which is a pastry cutter, and then that does the same thing. But of course, since I'm a chef, I'm going to cheat and use Mr. Roboku. So you just dump everything. And if you have this at home, obviously you can use this. It works so much faster and better. But just to keep the video short, I'm going to show it this way. So just kind of pulse a few times. And then once again, you want to make sure that you keep an eye on your fat. So if you look at this, you kind of look. So there's our kind of pea-sized shapes right there. So if you see, that might be a little small. Okay, but you can see those pea-sized shapes there if you look inside of there. That's kind of what you're looking for. So that didn't really take very long. Okay, and then all you're going to do, obviously, after that, is you're going to add your water. So I got my water over here. I'm going to measure it out and then pour it in. And then you want to kind of test the consistency. So I'm going to add probably not all of it. And then you're just going to do the same thing until it kind of comes together. Probably need a little more in there. And you got to give the flour a chance to kind of absorb. I'm just kind of pulsing. Now if you look at this, it doesn't look right, but what I do is I take a little bit and I kind of squeeze it together. Now you can see that that holds together pretty good. It's a little crumbly, but so I'm going to add a little more water, and then we should be good to go. Now there you can see it's really starting to stick together. So with that, we're going to take him off and move this guy out of the way here. And then there's your dough. And then all I'm going to do is just put it on the table here. Hi-ya! That's it. Okay, so there is your dough, and like I said, you don't have to really move it around too much. Now this is actually enough for 2 pie shells. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this in half. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And here's our flaky dough. And then we're going to grab our plastic wrap. And then what I do to get it ready for the fridge, like I said before, you kind of just flatten it. Now some people leave it in a huge chunk, something like this, and then they wrap that up and they put that in the fridge, but look how thick that is. Now when you try and roll that out, it's going to take you forever, especially after this has been refrigerated. It's going to take you a while to get that to the thickness that you want. So what I like to do when I'm flattening my dough, getting it ready for the fridge, is I get it pretty close to what I need. So a couple things. One, so this is going to be a lot easier to roll out, okay? And it's going to refrigerate or get chilled in the walk-in a lot quicker if you do it that way, all right? So then you're just going to wrap that up, put that in the fridge, or you can actually put it in the freezer for 10 minutes. That works as well too, so.